In the tranquil countryside of Montana, a magnificent stallion stood frozen at the entrance of his stable, refusing to step inside despite his owner's gentle coaxing. What the owner discovered that day would not only change their lives forever, but would spark a movement that touched hearts across the nation. This is the extraordinary tale of a horse's silent wisdom and one man's journey to see the world through different eyes. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across rolling hills. Ranch, where Thomas Mitchell stood puzzled at the entrance of his newly renovated barn. His prized horse, Thunder, a stunning black Friesian with a flowing mane and proud bearing, remained immobile at the threshold, ears pinned back in clear distress. The scene was unusual. Thunder had always been eager to return to his stall after their evening rides, but today something was different. Thomas, a seasoned rancher with weathered hands and kind eyes, had inherited the sprawling property from his father 3 years ago. The ranch had been in their family for generations, its rich history woven into every fence post and weathered beam. Thunder had been his companion through the challenging transition of taking over the ranch operations, their bond growing stronger with each passing season. "Come on, boy," Thomas urged softly, giving the lead rope a gentle tug. Thunder's response was unprecedented. The horse planted his hooves firmly in the ground, muscles tensing beneath his gleaming coat. The late summer breeze carried the sweet scent of hay and wildflowers, but Thunder's nostrils flared as if detecting something far more concerning. Sarah, Thomas's wife and a respected veterinarian, emerged from their farmhouse, her auburn hair catching the golden light. She observed the unusual standoff with growing interest. "Everything okay?" she called out, making her way toward them. Thomas shook his head, his forehead creased with worry. "He won't go in. Never seen anything like it." As Sarah approached, she noticed Thunder's unusual behavior. The way his ears swiveled frantically, his elevated head position, and the subtle tremors running through his powerful frame. Drawing from her years of experience working with horses, she recognized signs of acute distress. "Something's really bothering him, Tom. This isn't just stubbornness." The couple exchanged concerned glances. Thunder had always been intelligent and sensitive, but this was different. His resistance seemed rooted in something deeper than mere disobedience. Thomas handed the lead rope to Sarah and approached the barn entrance, determined to understand what was causing his horse such distress. The barn, recently upgraded with modern amenities, stood as a testament to Thomas's dedication to his animals. Comfort. Fresh paint gleamed on the walls, new rubber matting lined the floors, and state-of-the-art ventilation systems ensured optimal air circulation. Yet something about this familiar space now seemed to terrify his most reliable companion. As Thomas stepped inside, his boots echoing on the concrete floor, he noticed something unusual. A faint crackling sound, barely perceptible, caught his attention. Following the noise, he moved deeper into the barn, past the neat rows of stalls, toward the electrical panel he'd had installed just last week. Sarah watched from the entrance, still holding Thunder, as Thomas investigated. The horse's behavior grew more agitated with each step his owner took into the building. Suddenly, Thunder let out a sharp, desperate whinny, a sound that sent chills down Sarah's spine. It wasn't just fear in that call, it was a warning. Thomas reached the electrical panel, and what he discovered made his blood run cold. The new wiring, supposedly installed by a certified electrician, showed clear signs of damage. Exposed wires sparked intermittently, creating the faint crackling he'd heard. The entire barn was a potential disaster waiting to happen. "Sarah!" he called out, his voice tight with urgency. "Call the fire department! Now!" As she rushed to get her phone, Thomas quickly turned off the main power switch and began evacuating the other horses from their stalls. The reality of what could have happened, what Thunder had somehow sensed, hit him like a physical blow. Word spread quickly through the tight-knit ranching community. By sunset, neighbors had gathered to help secure the barn and assess the damage. The fire marshal's inspection confirmed their worst fears. Faulty wiring throughout the structure could have resulted in a catastrophic fire, potentially claiming not only the building but the lives of every animal inside. That evening, as Thomas sat on the porch steps watching Thunder graze peacefully in the pasture, he felt a profound sense of humility wash over him. His horse's inexplicable behavior had potentially saved the entire ranch. The incident forced him to question everything he thought he knew about these magnificent creatures and their capabilities. The local paper's headline the next morning read, "Horse's refusal to enter barn prevents potential tragedy." But for Thomas, the story ran deeper than a simple tale of animal instinct. It marked the beginning of a remarkable journey that would challenge his understanding of the relationship between humans and horses, and ultimately lead to discoveries that would revolutionize ranch safety practices across the country. As Thunder grazed under the stars that night, Thomas approached him with a fresh perspective. The horse lifted his head, acknowledging his owner with gentle eyes that seemed to hold ancient wisdom. "You knew, didn't you?" Thomas whispered, running, his hand along Thunder's strong neck. "You were trying to tell me something, and I almost didn't listen." This moment of revelation sparked something in Thomas, a determination to understand the deeper connections between horses and their environment, to learn from their innate sensitivities, and to share these insights with others. What began as a puzzling incident would soon evolve into a mission that would touch countless lives and change the way people thought about these extraordinary animals. Little did Thomas know that Thunder's actions that day would set in motion a chain of events that would not only transform their own lives, but would ripple through the entire equestrian community, challenging long-held beliefs and opening new possibilities for human-horse relationships. The story of the horse who refused to enter the barn was just beginning, and its impact would reach far beyond the rolling hills of their Montana ranch. As news of Thunder's extraordinary intuition spread through the community, Thomas found himself at the center of unexpected attention. The incident had shaken him deeply, forcing him to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about horses and their capabilities. The local news stations began calling, eager to share the story of the horse who had potentially saved an entire ranch from disaster. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a renowned animal behaviorist from the University of Montana, arrived at Rolling Hills Ranch one crisp morning, her curiosity piqued by the reports. "What you've experienced here is remarkable," she explained to Thomas as they walked the property. "Horses possess sensory abilities that far exceed our own, but this level of specific awareness is exceptional." Sarah, combining her veterinary expertise with Elena's behavioral insights, began documenting Thunder's unusual sensitivities. They discovered that the horse displayed similar reactions to other potential hazards, subtle changes in air pressure before storms, underground water leaks, and even the presence of wildlife that humans couldn't detect. It's not just about physical senses, Elena observed, watching Thunder interact with a group of young horses in the paddock. There's mounting evidence suggesting horses possess forms of perception we're only beginning to understand. Thunder's reaction to the electrical fault might be just the tip of the iceberg. Thomas spent countless hours observing Thunder, noting every reaction, every subtle change in behavior. He began keeping a detailed journal, recording patterns that emerged. The horse showed an uncanny ability to detect changes in the environment, long before they became apparent to human observers. More surprisingly, Thunder seemed to actively try to communicate these concerns to those around him. One afternoon, while Thomas was conducting routine maintenance checks inspired by the barn incident, he noticed Thunder's peculiar behavior near the western fence line. The horse paced repeatedly along a specific section, showing the same signs of distress he'd displayed at the barn. Acting on his newfound trust in Thunder's instincts, Thomas investigated. Beneath the soil, he discovered a significant erosion problem that could have eventually compromised the entire fence structure. "This is incredible," Sarah remarked, examining the undermined posts. "He's not just sensing immediate dangers, he's identifying potential future problems." Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. The discovery led Thomas to create a systematic approach to ranch safety, incorporating Thunder's remarkable abilities. He began calling it the Thunder Protocol, a methodology that combined traditional safety inspections with careful observation of horse behavior patterns. The concept soon caught the attention of other ranchers in the region. Mike Henderson, owner of the neighboring Silver Creek Ranch, was initially skeptical. "Look, Tom," he said during a visit, "horses are smart, but you're telling me they can predict problems before they happen. That's a stretch." However, after witnessing Thunder's abilities firsthand during a demonstration, Mike's skepticism turned to amazement. Word of the Thunder Protocol spread through the ranching community. Thomas found himself hosting impromptu workshops, teaching other ranchers how to better observe and interpret their horses' behavior. "It's not about believing in some mystical horse sense," he explained to a group of visitors. "It's about learning to pay attention to what they're already trying to tell us." Dr. Rodriguez continued her research at Rolling Hills, establishing it as a case study site for her university's equine behavior program. Graduate students began regular visits, conducting controlled studies to document and analyze Thunder's unique capabilities. Their findings would later contribute to groundbreaking research in animal cognition. Sarah integrated these insights into her veterinary practice, developing new diagnostic approaches that considered subtle behavioral cues she had previously overlooked. "Thunder has taught us to be better observers," she explained to her colleagues at a regional veterinary conference. "Sometimes the most important symptoms are the ones we're not looking for." The transformation at Rolling Hills Ranch extended beyond safety protocols. Thomas noticed a shift in how everyone interacted with the horses. There was a new level of respect, a recognition that these animals possessed capabilities that deserved closer attention. The ranch hands began reporting their own observations of unusual horse behavior, creating a collaborative environment of enhanced awareness. Thunder's influence reached beyond the immediate community. A documentary filmmaker captivated by the story, arrived to capture the unique relationship between Thomas and his horse. The resulting film, The Wisdom of Thunder, would later win awards at several independent film festivals, bringing the message of interspecies communication to a broader audience. As winter approached, Thomas reflected on the dramatic changes the past months had brought. The near disaster with the barn had evolved into something far more significant, a movement that was changing how people understood and valued their relationships with horses. The incident had revealed not just Thunder's extraordinary abilities, but the untapped potential in every horse-human partnership. One evening, as snow began to dust the Montana landscape, Thomas stood with Thunder in the new, properly wired barn. The horse's calm demeanor in the space served as a quiet confirmation of safety. "You've started something bigger than both of us," Thomas mused, scratching Thunder's favorite spot behind his ears. The horse's gentle nicker seemed to agree. The story of Thunder's refusal to enter the barn had transformed from a potential tragedy into a catalyst for change. It highlighted the importance of trusting animal instincts and recognizing that sometimes the wisest course of action is to stop and listen to those who perceive the world differently than we do. Ranchers from across the state began implementing their own versions of the Thunder Protocol, reporting improved safety conditions and stronger bonds with their horses. The initiative sparked a broader conversation about animal intelligence and the need to respect and learn from their natural instincts. As Thomas updated his journal that evening, he realized that Thunder's gift wasn't just his ability to sense danger. It was his persistence in trying to communicate with humans who weren't always ready to listen. The incident had opened a door to understanding that would continue to influence the equestrian world for years to come. Dr. Rodriguez's preliminary findings suggested that horses like Thunder might possess specialized neurons that allow them to detect electromagnetic fields and minute changes in air pressure. These scientific insights, combined with centuries of horse-human partnership, were painting a new picture of these remarkable animals' capabilities. The transformation at Rolling Hills Ranch had begun with a single moment of crisis, but it had evolved into a movement that celebrated the depth of horse-human connections. Thunder's legacy would continue to inspire and educate, reminding people that sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from learning to trust and understand our four-legged companions. Spring arrived at Rolling Hills Ranch, bringing with it unexpected challenges that would test Thunder's extraordinary abilities in ways no one could have anticipated. The morning started like any other, with Thomas conducting his routine inspection of the property, now enhanced by the Thunder Protocol he had developed. However, the atmosphere felt different, charged with an energy that made even the most seasoned ranch hands uneasy. Thunder, usually content to graze in the morning sun, stood alert at the far end of his paddock, his ears pricked forward and nostrils flaring. Thomas had learned to trust these subtle signs. "What is it, boy?" he asked, approaching the fence. The horse's behavior was reminiscent of that fateful day at the barn, but something about this seemed more urgent. Dr. Rodriguez, who had extended her stay at the ranch to continue her research, noticed the change in Thunder's demeanor immediately. "Look at his body language," she pointed out to her research assistant, Maria. "The way he's alternating between staring at the mountains and pawing at the ground. I've never seen this specific pattern before." Sarah, returning from an emergency call at a neighboring farm, pulled up in her veterinary truck just as Thunder let out a series of sharp, staccato whinnies. The sound echoed across the valley, causing other horses in nearby paddocks to grow restless. "Tom," she called out, hurrying toward her husband, "something's wrong. I've been getting calls all morning about unusual animal behavior across the county." Before Thomas could respond, Thunder burst into a display of agitation unlike anything they'd seen before. He cantered along the fence line, stopped abruptly to paw at the earth, then threw his head up, scanning the distant mountains with almost human-like intensity. The behavior was so specific, so deliberate, that it demanded attention. Dr. Rodriguez quickly assembled her research team, setting up monitoring equipment to record Thunder's behavior. "This isn't just regular distress," she explained as they worked. "This appears to be a deliberate attempt to communicate something specific." She pointed to the patterns in his movement, the repeated gestures toward the mountains, and the way he seemed to be trying to gather the attention of not just humans, but other horses as well. Thomas made a decision. "We need to take this seriously," he announced to the gathered group. "Every time Thunder's shown this level of concern, there's been a reason." He began organizing the ranch hands to secure equipment and move the horses to the lower pastures, despite the clear blue sky and seemingly perfect spring weather. The local news station, which had maintained interest in the Thunder protocol since the barn incident, sent a reporter to cover the unusual activity at the ranch. "But what exactly are you preparing for?" the reporter asked, gesturing at the perfectly calm day. Thomas could only shake his head. "We'll know when it happens. Right now, we trust Thunder." By mid-afternoon, the first signs of vindication appeared. Dark clouds began gathering over the mountains with unusual speed. The local weather station, which had predicted clear skies, issued a sudden severe storm warning, but Thunder's behavior suggested something more severe than a typical spring storm. Dr. Rodriguez's equipment began picking up unusual readings. The dramatic changes in barometric pressure and electromagnetic activity. "This is extraordinary," she exclaimed, reviewing the data. "Thunder was reacting to these changes hours before our instruments could detect them." The storm that hit Rolling Hills Ranch that evening was unprecedented. A combination of severe weather conditions created what meteorologists would later call a perfect storm. High winds, hail, and a series of microbursts that devastated properties across the county. But thanks to Thunder's early warning and Thomas's trust in his horse's instincts, Rolling Hills Ranch was prepared. The aftermath of the storm revealed the true value of Thunder's warning. While neighboring ranches suffered significant damage, Rolling Hills had secured its equipment, moved its livestock to safety, and prevented what could have been catastrophic losses. The local news coverage shifted from skepticism to amazement, highlighting how a horse's instincts had protected an entire ranch from disaster. Dr. Rodriguez's research took on new significance. "What we're seeing here goes beyond basic animal instinct," she explained to a gathering of scientists who had come to study Thunder. "This horse has not only detected environmental changes before our sophisticated equipment could, but he also demonstrated a clear intent to warn others." The event caught the attention of the National Weather Service, which began a collaborative study with Dr. Rodriguez's team to explore how animals, particularly horses, might be integrated into early warning systems for severe weather events. Thunder's abilities had opened up new possibilities for disaster prevention and management. Thomas found himself fielding calls from emergency management agencies interested in the Thunder Protocol. "It's not just about weather," he explained during a presentation to emergency preparedness officials. "It's about learning to recognize and respect the natural abilities that animals possess, abilities that could help protect our communities." Sarah began organizing workshops for other veterinarians, teaching them how to incorporate behavioral observation into their practice. "What Thunder has shown us," she explained, "is that animals often know something's wrong long before we see clinical symptoms. We need to learn to listen better." The incident led to the establishment of the Equine Early Warning System Network, a collaboration between ranches across the country to document and share observations of unusual horse behavior that might indicate approaching natural disasters. Thunder became the face of this initiative, his story inspiring others to pay closer attention to their animals' behavior. As spring turned to summer, Rolling Hills Ranch became a center for studying the relationship between horses and natural phenomena. Graduate students conducted research, emergency management officials received training, and ranchers from across the country came to learn how to better understand their own horses' behavioral cues. Thunder's reputation grew, but the horse remained unchanged by the attention. Still, the same sensitive, intelligent animal who had refused to enter an unsafe barn months ago. His ability to detect and warn of danger had not only saved lives, but had also opened new frontiers in understanding the capabilities of horses. The transformation of Rolling Hills Ranch continued, but now with a broader purpose. It wasn't just about safety protocols anymore. It was about reimagining the relationship between humans and horses, recognizing that these magnificent animals had much more to teach us if we were willing to learn. Thomas often found himself reflecting on how a single moment of trust, choosing to believe in Thunder's warning about the barn, had led to such profound changes. The experience had taught him that wisdom often comes from unexpected sources, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is listen to those who perceive the world differently than we do. The summer heat settled over Rolling Hills Ranch, bringing with it new opportunities to showcase Thunder's remarkable abilities. An international conference on animal cognition and natural disaster prevention was scheduled to take place in nearby Missoula, and Thomas received an invitation to present their groundbreaking work with the Thunder Protocol. As Thomas prepared for the conference, an unexpected visitor arrived at the ranch, Dr. James Chen, a skeptical neurobiologist from Stanford University. "I've read about your work," he stated firmly, his academic demeanor radiating doubt. "While the anecdotal evidence is interesting, I'm here to conduct some controlled experiments of my own." Thunder's reaction to Dr. Chen's arrival surprised everyone. Instead of his usual wariness of strangers, the horse approached the scientist with unusual interest. Dr. Chen, despite his skepticism, found himself drawn to Thunder's intelligent gaze. "Remarkable," he muttered, pulling out his research equipment. "His pupils are displaying unusual dilation patterns." Over the next few days, Dr. Chen set up a series of sophisticated tests using advanced neuroimaging equipment that could be safely used on horses. The results left him astounded. "His neural patterns are unlike anything I've ever seen," he announced during an impromptu gathering at the ranch house. "When Thunder senses environmental changes, his brain activity shows patterns similar to what we see in human intuitive processing. Sarah integrated these new findings into her veterinary practice, developing a revolutionary approach to equine care that combined traditional medicine with behavioral observation. "We're not just treating symptoms anymore," she explained to her colleagues. "We're learning to read the subtle signals that horses give us before illness or injury occurs." The breakthrough came during one of Dr. Chen's experiments. Thunder began displaying signs of distress while wearing the neuroimaging equipment. The readings showed intense brain activity focused in regions associated with spatial awareness and danger recognition. Within hours, seismologists confirmed what Thunder had already sensed. A minor earthquake was approaching. This validation from the scientific community opened new doors. The University of Montana established the Center for Equine Cognitive Research at Rolling Hills Ranch, with Thunder as their primary study subject. The center attracted researchers from around the world, each bringing new perspectives on animal cognition and environmental awareness. Local schools began organizing field trips to the ranch, where children learned about the importance of respecting and understanding animals. Thunder proved to be a natural teacher, demonstrating remarkable patience with young visitors and seeming to adjust his behavior based on their age and comfort level. One particular visit from a group of children with autism revealed another dimension of Thunder's abilities. The horse showed an extraordinary capacity to connect with children who struggled with traditional forms of communication. "He understands them," observed the special education teacher, watching Thunder gently interact with a normally withdrawn student. "He's meeting them at their level." This discovery led to the establishment of an equine therapy program at Rolling Hills Ranch, incorporating Thunder's unique sensitivity into therapeutic sessions. Families began traveling from across the country, seeking the special connection that Thunder seemed able to forge with children facing various challenges. Dr. Rodriguez expanded her research to include this therapeutic aspect. "What we're seeing here goes beyond simple animal-assisted therapy," she explained. "Thunder appears to have an ability to read and respond to human emotional states in a way that's unprecedented in our research." The ranch transformed into a multifaceted center for research, therapy, and education. Thomas found himself managing not just a ranch, but a facility that was revolutionizing our understanding of horse-human relationships. The Thunder Protocol evolved into a comprehensive approach to animal communication and environmental awareness. During this period of growth, Thunder's abilities continued to develop. He began showing an uncanny awareness of health issues in other horses, often alerting Sarah to medical problems before they became apparent through traditional diagnostic methods. This led to the development of a new preventive care protocol that incorporated behavioral observation into regular veterinary checkups. The international conference in Missoula became a turning point. Thomas's presentation, supported by Dr. Jen's scientific data and Dr. Rodriguez's behavioral studies, captured the attention of the global scientific community. The Thunder Protocol was no longer just a local phenomenon. It was becoming a model for understanding animal intelligence and environmental awareness worldwide. As autumn approached, Rolling Hills Ranch hosted its first international symposium on equine cognitive abilities and environmental awareness. Researchers, veterinarians, and animal behaviorists from around the world gathered to share their findings and learn from Thunder's extraordinary capabilities. During the symposium, Thunder demonstrated his abilities in front of the assembled experts. he accurately indicated the location of hidden water sources, detected subtle changes in air pressure before storms, and showed a remarkable ability to identify horses in distress, even when they showed no obvious signs of illness. The event culminated in the announcement of a global initiative to study and document similar cases of extraordinary animal awareness. Rolling Hills Ranch would serve as the headquarters for this international effort, with Thunder's abilities setting the benchmark for research into animal cognition and environmental sensitivity. As the symposium concluded, Thomas found himself reflecting on the incredible journey that had begun with a simple act of trust, believing in a horse who refused to enter a barn. That moment had sparked a movement that was changing how the world understood and valued animal intelligence. The transformation of Rolling Hills Ranch from a traditional cattle operation to a world-renowned research and therapy center hadn't been easy, but the impact on countless lives made every challenge worthwhile. Thunder's gift had not only saved lives, but had opened new frontiers in understanding the deep connection between humans and horses. One evening, as Thomas watched Thunder interact with a group of therapy students, he realized that their story was far from over. Each day brought new discoveries, new connections, and new opportunities to learn from these extraordinary creatures who shared their world. Winter descended on Rolling Hills Ranch, bringing with it an unexpected series of events that would push Thunder's abilities to their limits and reveal even deeper layers of his extraordinary intelligence. The snow-covered landscape created new challenges for the research team, but it also provided unique opportunities for discovery. One frigid morning, Dr. Chen's sophisticated equipment detected unusual patterns in Thunder's brain activity. The horse seemed agitated, but differently than his previous weather-related warnings. "These neural patterns are completely new," Dr. Chen announced, studying the readings with intense concentration. "It's as if he's processing information we can't even perceive." Within hours, the mystery deepened. A distressed call came from the Northern Mountain Rescue Service. A group of hikers had gone missing in the wilderness area bordering the ranch. The rescue teams were struggling with harsh conditions and limited visibility. Thunder's behavior grew increasingly specific, oriented toward the northern mountains. Thomas made a bold decision. "I think he knows something about those missing hikers," he declared to the assembled rescue coordinators. Despite initial skepticism, Thunder's track record of accurate predictions earned him the benefit of the doubt. The rescue team agreed to follow Thunder's lead. What followed was unprecedented. Thunder, equipped with Dr. Chen's monitoring devices, and accompanied by Thomas and a rescue team, began guiding them through the snowy terrain. His behavior was deliberate and focused, unlike anything they'd seen before. He would stop at certain points, pawing at the snow and refusing to move until the team thoroughly checked each area. Sarah, monitoring the data from the research center, noticed something remarkable. "His brain patterns match exactly with what we saw during his most accurate predictions," she reported over the radio. "Whatever he's sensing, he's absolutely certain about it." After 4 hours of challenging navigation through the winter wilderness, Thunder led the team to a sheltered ravine. There, huddled in a makeshift snow cave, they found the missing hikers, cold but alive. The rescue team was astounded. This location had been outside their original search grid. The successful rescue made international headlines. Horse leads rescuers to lost hikers became a global story, bringing new attention to the work at Rolling Hills Ranch. More importantly, it demonstrated an entirely new application of Thunder's abilities, one that could revolutionize search and rescue operations. This event led to the creation of the Equine Assisted Search and Rescue (EASR) program. Emergency services from across the country sent representatives to learn how to identify and work with horses that showed similar sensitivities. Thunder became the model for this new approach to rescue operations. Dr. Rodriguez's research took an exciting turn as she began documenting similar abilities in other horses. "What Thunder has shown us is just the beginning," she explained during a presentation to emergency response coordinators. "Many horses possess these capabilities. We just need to learn how to recognize and develop them." The winter months brought a steady stream of visitors to the ranch, each with their own story of how Thunder's example had inspired them to look differently at their own horses. A rancher from Wyoming shared how his mare had led him to a lost calf in a blizzard. A trainer from Colorado described how her horse had refused to enter a trail minutes before a landslide. The research center expanded to accommodate the growing interest. New facilities were built, including a specialized training arena where horses could be safely evaluated for search and rescue potential. The Thunder Protocol evolved into a comprehensive training program, combining natural horsemanship with modern technology. Sarah's veterinary practice became a model for integrative equine care, combining traditional medicine with the insights gained from Thunder's demonstrations of preventive awareness. She began teaching other veterinarians how to incorporate behavioral observation into their diagnostic processes. The therapeutic program flourished in unexpected ways. Children who struggled with traditional learning environments showed remarkable progress when working with Thunder and other sensitive horses. The ranch developed specialized programs for autism spectrum disorders, PTSD, and anxiety, each building on Thunder's intuitive ability to connect with those in need. One particularly moving case involved a veteran suffering from severe PTSD. After months of limited progress with traditional therapy, a single session with Thunder produced breakthrough results. The horse's gentle but unwavering presence helped the veteran process trauma that he had been unable to address through conventional methods. As winter deepened, the ranch hosted its first winter symposium on equine cognitive abilities. Despite the challenging weather, participants came from as far as Europe and Asia to share their experiences and learn from Thunder's example. The event became a celebration of the growing understanding between humans and horses. Dr. Chen's continued. Research revealed fascinating patterns in Thunder's cognitive processes. What we're seeing suggests that horses may possess forms of intelligence that we've never fully appreciated, he explained to a captivated audience. Their brains process information in ways that complement rather than mirror human cognition. The impact of Thunder's abilities extended beyond search and rescue. Environmental scientists began studying how horses like Thunder could help predict natural disasters. Climate researchers explored the possibility of using equine sensitivity to track subtle environmental changes. The implications for environmental protection and disaster preparedness were enormous. Thomas found himself reflecting on the journey that had begun with a simple refusal to enter a barn. Thunder's gift had not only saved lives, but had opened new frontiers in understanding the remarkable capabilities of horses. The ranch had become more than a research center. It was a place where the ancient bond between humans and horses was being redefined for the modern world. As the winter stars shone over Rolling Hills Ranch, Thunder stood in his paddock, alert and aware as always. The horse, who had once been known only for refusing to enter a barn, had become a symbol of the untapped potential that existed in the partnership between humans and horses. His legacy would continue to inspire new discoveries and deepen our understanding of these extraordinary animals. As spring thaw arrived at Rolling Hills Ranch, a new challenge emerged that would test the limits of Thunder's abilities and the faith of those who believed in him. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, had taken notice of the ranch's groundbreaking work and proposed an unprecedented experiment, a large-scale disaster preparedness trial that would put the Thunder Protocol to its most rigorous test yet. Director Catherine Walsh, a stern-faced woman with decades of emergency management experience, arrived at the ranch with a team of specialists. "We need more than anecdotal evidence," she stated firmly during the initial briefing. "We need to know if these abilities can be reliably integrated into our emergency response systems." The proposed test was ambitious, a multi-state coordination exercise involving hundreds of emergency responders, multiple agencies, and a network of horses that had shown similar sensitivities to Thunder's. The goal was to determine if equine early warning systems could effectively predict and respond to simulated disaster scenarios. Thomas felt the weight of the moment. Success could revolutionize disaster prevention across the country. Failure could discredit everything they'd worked to prove. Thunder, however, seemed unfazed by the pressure, maintaining his usual alert and centered demeanor. Dr. Chen and Dr. Rodriguez worked tirelessly to establish baseline measurements for the trial. They developed a sophisticated monitoring system that could track and compare the responses of multiple horses across different locations. "This is unprecedented," Dr. Chen admitted, calibrating his equipment. "We're not just testing abilities anymore. We're trying to create a standardized system for interpreting them." The first phase of the trial began with a series of controlled tests. Emergency management teams staged various scenarios: hidden heat sources simulating fire risks, buried devices emitting electromagnetic fields, and carefully planned weather monitoring stations. Thunder and other selected horses were observed for their reactions. The results were remarkable. Thunder not only detected the hidden hazards, but showed an ability to discriminate between different types of threats, displaying distinct behavioral patterns for each category of risk. More impressively, he began teaching other horses in his vicinity, demonstrating a form of knowledge transfer that astounded the researchers. Sarah noticed something extraordinary during these trials. "He's not just reacting anymore," she explained. To the NEMA team, he's actively problem-solving, finding the most effective ways to communicate different types of dangers to both horses and humans. This observation led to a breakthrough in understanding how horses could be trained to share their sensory awareness. The second phase of the trial expanded to include real-world scenarios. Emergency response teams across 3 states began incorporating equine sensitivity monitoring into their standard procedures. The network of participating horses, dubbed the Thunder Network, grew to include over 50 animals specially selected for their heightened awareness. One particular incident during this phase captured national attention. A horse in the network, stationed at a ranch in Wyoming, began displaying unusual behavior patterns that matched Thunder's previous earthquake warnings. Within hours, seismologists confirmed that a significant fault line movement was imminent. The early warning allowed for preventive measures that potentially saved countless lives. Director Walsh's skepticism began to fade as the evidence mounted. "What we're seeing here isn't just impressive," she acknowledged during a progress review. "It's revolutionary. These horses are providing us with a level of early warning that our most sophisticated equipment can't match." The success of the trials led to the establishment of the first government-funded equine early warning system, EEWS. Rolling Hills Ranch was designated as the primary training center, with Thunder serving as the cornerstone of the program. Thomas found himself advising government agencies on how to integrate horses into their emergency response protocols. The implications of the EEWS extended beyond disaster response. Environmental scientists began studying how the horse's sensitivity could be applied to climate change monitoring. Wildlife conservationists explored using equine awareness to track endangered species movements. The possibilities seemed endless. Thunder's influence on the program was profound. His ability to train other horses became a crucial component of the system's expansion. He seemed to possess an innate understanding of how to communicate his awareness to both horses and humans, making him an invaluable teacher in the program. The therapeutic aspects of the program continued to evolve. The presence of highly sensitive horses in emergency response teams had an unexpected benefit. They provided emotional support to both responders and victims during crisis situations. This led to the development of a specialized branch of equine-assisted crisis counseling. As summer approached, Rolling Hills Ranch hosted an international conference on integrated emergency response systems. Emergency management professionals from around the world gathered to learn about the Thunder protocol and its applications. The ranch had become a global center for innovation in disaster prevention and response. The impact on the local community was equally significant. The ranch established a youth program teaching young people about environmental awareness through horse interaction. These Thunder's apprentices learned valuable skills in emergency preparedness while developing deep connections with the horses. Dr. Rodriguez's research expanded to include studies on the social dynamics of horse herds during threat detection. She discovered that horses like Thunder created sophisticated communication networks within their herds, sharing information about potential dangers in ways that scientists were only beginning to understand. The success of the NEMA trials opened new doors for funding and research. Universities across the country began establishing their own equine sensitivity research programs, each building on the foundation laid at Rolling Hills Ranch. The field of equine-assisted emergency response was growing faster than anyone had anticipated. Thomas often found himself amazed at how far they'd come from that first moment when Thunder refused to enter the barn. What had started as a single horse's warning had grown into a movement that was changing how the world approached disaster, prevention and response. It was a testament to the power of trusting animal instincts and the importance of being open to unconventional solutions. Thunder's legacy was about to face its greatest challenge yet, as Rolling Hills Ranch prepared to host the first global summit on equine intelligence and environmental protection. Representatives from 30 countries would attend, But amidst the preparations, a series of mysterious events began unfolding that would showcase Thunder's abilities in an entirely new light. Dr. Chen noticed it first. Subtle changes in Thunder's behavior that didn't match any previously documented patterns. The horse seemed agitated, but not in his usual way of warning about immediate dangers. "It's as if he's trying to tell us something bigger," Dr. Chen observed, studying the unusual neural readings on his equipment. The mystery deepened when other horses in the Thunder network began displaying similar behavior patterns across different locations. Sarah compiled the data from various sites, revealing a troubling pattern. Whatever they're sensing, it's widespread, she reported during an emergency meeting with the research team. A breakthrough came unexpectedly through a visiting climatologist, Dr. Maya Patel. Analyzing the timeline of the horse's behavior changes alongside global weather data, she discovered a correlation with subtle atmospheric changes that even satellite systems had missed. "These horses," she explained, excitement building in her voice, "are detecting early indicators of a major climatic shift." Thunder's behavior became more specific, leading researchers to various locations around the ranch property. At each spot, geological surveys revealed underground water sources that were behaving abnormally. The horse was essentially mapping out a complex system of aquifers and showing how they were being affected by environmental changes. The implications were staggering. Thunder and the network of sensitive horses weren't just detecting isolated threats anymore. They were revealing interconnected environmental patterns that could revolutionize our understanding of climate change and its effects on natural systems. Thomas worked with environmental scientists to develop a new branch of the Thunder Protocol focused on long-term environmental monitoring. This expansion required innovative approaches to documenting and interpreting horse behavior over extended periods. "We're not just looking at immediate threats now," Thomas explained to visiting researchers. "We're learning to read their signals about gradual environmental changes." The ranch transformed into a hub of environmental research. New facilities were constructed to house sophisticated monitoring equipment that could correlate horse behavior with environmental data. The integration of traditional scientific methods with equine sensitivity created a unique approach to environmental study. A touching moment came when a group of indigenous elders visited the ranch. They shared stories of their ancestors' deep connection with horses and their understanding of natural systems. "Your thunder," one elder said, smiling warmly, "is helping us remember what our ancestors knew, that animals are our teachers in understanding the Earth's language." The upcoming global summit took on new significance as Thunder's environmental sensitivity gained recognition. The agenda expanded to include sessions on integrating traditional ecological knowledge with modern science, using horses as bridges between different ways of understanding environmental changes. Dr. Rodriguez's research team made a groundbreaking discovery about how horses process environmental information. They found that horses like Thunder possessed an extraordinary ability to synthesize different types of sensory input, creating a comprehensive picture of environmental health that surpassed any artificial monitoring system. The therapeutic program evolved to include environmental education. Children working with Thunder not only developed emotional connections, but also learned to understand environmental relationships through his behavior. This approach created a new generation of environmentally conscious youth who understood the importance of listening to nature's signals. Sarah's veterinary practice began incorporating environmental health factors into animal care. She developed protocols for using horse behavior as an indicator of environmental impacts on animal health, creating a more holistic approach to veterinary medicine that considered the interconnections between environmental and animal well-being. As the summit approached, Thunder's influence spread beyond the scientific community. Environmental artists began visiting the ranch, creating works inspired by the horse's unique way of perceiving and responding to the environment. Their exhibitions helped communicate complex environmental concepts to the public in accessible ways. The Thunder's Apprentices Youth Program expanded to include environmental monitoring training. Young people learned to combine traditional observation skills with modern technology, creating a new approach to environmental stewardship that bridged generational and technological gaps. During this period, Thunder began showing an unexpected ability to detect subtle changes in plant health across the ranch. His behavior led researchers to discover early signs of ecological stress that could have significant implications for agricultural practices and forest management. The summit itself became a landmark event in environmental research. Scientists, traditional knowledge holders, and emergency management professionals came together to share insights and develop new approaches to environmental protection. Thunder's ability to bridge these different perspectives became a model for interdisciplinary collaboration. Thomas found himself reflecting on how far they'd come from that first moment of trust. Thunder's refusal to enter the barn had opened not just a door to understanding horse intelligence, but a window into a new way of perceiving and protecting our environment. It was a reminder that sometimes the most profound insights come from listening to those who experience the world differently than we do. As delegates from around the world gathered at Rolling Hills Ranch, Thunder's story served as a powerful reminder of the importance of remaining open to unexpected sources of wisdom. The horse who had once been known simply for refusing to enter a barn had become a symbol of hope for environmental protection and understanding. The legacy of Thunder's gift continued to grow, inspiring new approaches to environmental monitoring and protection. His ability to connect different ways of knowing, scientific, traditional, and intuitive, offered a model for addressing complex environmental challenges in an increasingly interconnected world. As autumn painted Rolling Hills Ranch in vibrant hues, an unexpected discovery emerged that would elevate Thunder's abilities to unprecedented heights. A team of quantum physicists, intrigued by the horse's extraordinary sensitivities, arrived at the ranch with revolutionary equipment designed to measure subtle quantum fluctuations in biological systems. Dr. Sofia Ramirez, the lead quantum researcher, set up her experimental apparatus near Thunder's favorite grazing spot. Our theory is that some animals, particularly sensitive ones like Thunder, might be able to detect quantum-level changes in their environment, she explained to Thomas and Sarah. The sophisticated equipment surrounded Thunder, who showed remarkable curiosity about the devices. Within days, the quantum measurements revealed something extraordinary. Thunder's neural patterns showed synchronized responses to quantum fluctuations that should have been imperceptible to any living organism. "This is revolutionary," Dr. Ramirez announced during an emergency meeting with the research team. He's not just sensing conventional physical changes, he's responding to quantum-level events. The implications were staggering. Thunder's quantum sensitivity suggested possibilities that bridged the gap between physics and biology, in ways previously thought impossible. Dr. Chen's neurological readings, combined with Dr. Ramirez's quantum data, painted a picture of an animal whose perception extended far beyond conventional understanding. A series of controlled experiments demonstrated Thunder's ability to detect quantum entanglement effects between particles. More remarkably, his reactions appeared to influence these quantum states, suggesting a level of interaction between consciousness and quantum phenomena that challenged existing scientific paradigms. The discovery attracted attention from technology companies developing quantum computers. They saw potential applications for Thunder's unique abilities in developing more sensitive quantum detection systems. However, Thomas remained firm in his commitment to using these discoveries for environmental and humanitarian purposes. Sarah integrated these findings into her veterinary practice, developing new therapeutic approaches that considered quantum-level interactions in animal healing. We're beginning to understand that animal consciousness operates on levels we never imagined, she explained during a veterinary conference that drew hundreds of practitioners eager to learn about this groundbreaking approach. Thunder's abilities continued to evolve. He began showing an uncanny awareness of quantum-level changes that preceded earthquakes, leading to more accurate prediction systems. The Equine Early Warning System, EEWS, expanded to include quantum monitoring equipment at key locations, creating a network that combined animal sensitivity with cutting-edge physics. Dr. Rodriguez's behavioral research took on new dimensions as she studied how Thunder communicated his quantum awareness to other horses. The evidence suggested he was teaching them to enhance their own natural sensitivities, creating a growing network of quantum-aware horses that could contribute to environmental and disaster monitoring. The ranch established the Quantum Equine Research Center, QERC, the first facility dedicated to studying the intersection of quantum physics and animal consciousness. The center attracted researchers from diverse fields, from theoretical physics to consciousness studies, all drawn by the possibility of understanding how living beings interact with quantum-level reality. Young scientists in the Thunder's Apprentices program learned to combine their intuitive connection with horses with an understanding of quantum principles. This unique educational approach produced a new generation of researchers who could bridge the gap between traditional animal behavior studies and quantum physics. During this period, Thunder demonstrated an extraordinary ability to detect quantum-level changes in human brain activity. This led to breakthrough developments in understanding how horses could assist in healing emotional and psychological trauma. The therapeutic programs at Rolling Hills Ranch expanded to include quantum-aware healing sessions that showed remarkable results with trauma survivors. The international scientific community, initially skeptical of combining quantum physics with horse behavior, began to take notice as peer-reviewed studies confirmed the validity of the findings. Publications in prestigious journals brought mainstream acceptance to the idea that animals could perceive and interact with quantum-level phenomena. Thunder's quantum sensitivity revealed new possibilities for environmental protection. He could detect quantum-level changes in plant systems that indicated early signs of ecological stress, leading to more effective conservation strategies. This ability proved crucial in identifying and protecting endangered ecosystems before visible damage occurred. The ranch hosted the first quantum biology symposium, bringing together experts from around the world to explore the implications of Thunder's abilities. The event marked a turning point in scientific understanding, establishing quantum biology as a legitimate field of study with practical applications in environmental protection and disaster prevention. Thomas found himself reflecting on the incredible journey that had begun with a simple act of trust. Thunder's refusal to enter the barn had led not only to improved safety protocols, but to fundamental breakthroughs in our understanding of consciousness, quantum physics, and the interconnectedness of all living things. As autumn deepened, the ranch became a symbol of the harmony possible between cutting-edge science and natural wisdom. Thunder's gift had opened new frontiers in human understanding, suggesting that the most profound insights often come from being willing to see beyond conventional boundaries. The quantum discoveries at Rolling Hills Ranch inspired a global movement to reconsider the relationship between consciousness, quantum physics, and the natural world. Thunder's legacy had grown from saving a single barn to potentially revolutionizing our understanding of reality itself. Working with Thunder and other quantum-sensitive horses, researchers began developing new technologies that could help predict and prevent natural disasters with unprecedented accuracy. These advances promised to save countless lives and protect vulnerable communities around the world. By bridging the gap between quantum physics and animal consciousness, Thunder had helped create a new paradigm for understanding the universe, one that recognized the profound connections between all forms of life and the fundamental fabric of reality itself. Winter winds howled across Rolling Hills Ranch, but inside the newly constructed Interspecies Communication Center, ICC, a groundbreaking experiment was underway. Thunder stood calmly in a specially designed chamber, surrounded by state-of-the-art equipment that merged quantum sensors with advanced neurological monitoring systems. Dr. Ramirez and Dr. Chen had theorized that Thunder's quantum sensitivity might extend beyond environmental awareness into realms of consciousness previously thought impossible. A visiting team of linguists and animal communication specialists had joined the research effort, bringing expertise in non-verbal communication and pattern recognition. Dr. Maria Santos, a pioneering expert in cross-species communication, led the initiative. What if Thunder's quantum sensitivity allows him to perceive and transmit information in ways we haven't considered? She proposed during the project's initial briefing. The breakthrough came unexpectedly during a routine morning session. Thunder began displaying a series of consistent behavioral patterns that correlated with specific quantum fluctuations. Dr. Santos noticed that these patterns appeared to form a coherent structure, similar to a language but operating on a quantum level. Using artificial intelligence algorithms designed to detect complex communication patterns, the team began mapping Thunder's quantum-level responses. The results were astounding. The horse wasn't just reacting to quantum changes, he was actively using them to convey specific information. Sarah, who had been documenting Thunder's interactions with other horses, made a crucial observation. "Look at how the other horses respond when he exhibits these patterns," she pointed out. "They're not just mimicking him. They're engaging in a form of dialogue we couldn't perceive before." The discovery led to the development of the quantum neural interface, QNI, a revolutionary system that could translate Thunder's quantum-level communications into forms humans could understand. The implications were profound. For the first time, humans had access to a form of communication that transcended conventional language barriers. Through the QNI, Thunder revealed insights about environmental changes that had eluded even the most sophisticated monitoring systems. He could detect subtle shifts in ecological balance weeks before they became apparent through traditional methods. More importantly, he could communicate these changes in ways that allowed for preventive action. The therapeutic applications of this breakthrough were particularly moving. Children with communication disorders found they could connect with Thunder through the quantum interface in ways that bypassed traditional communication challenges. The horse's ability to perceive and respond to quantum-level emotional states created new possibilities for healing and understanding. Dr. Rodriguez expanded her research to include studying how this quantum communication network operated within horse herds. She discovered that horses naturally maintained a sophisticated quantum-level information exchange that had gone undetected by conventional research methods. This finding revolutionized our understanding of animal social structures and intelligence. The ranch established the first quantum communication training program, teaching other horses to enhance their natural quantum sensitivity. Thunder proved to be an exceptional teacher, helping other horses develop their latent abilities to perceive and communicate through quantum channels. International interest in the program grew rapidly. Researchers from prestigious institutions around the world came to study this new form of communication. The implications extended beyond horse-human interaction into potential applications for understanding consciousness itself. One particularly remarkable case involved a group of indigenous healers who visited the ranch. They immediately recognized patterns in Thunder's quantum communication that aligned with their traditional understanding of energy and consciousness. This convergence of ancient wisdom and modern science opened new pathways for exploring human consciousness and healing. The quantum neural interface found unexpected applications in environmental protection. Thunder's ability to communicate complex ecological relationships helped scientists develop more effective conservation strategies. His insights led to the identification and protection of crucial ecological systems before they showed signs of degradation. Thomas watched in amazement as the ranch transformed into a global center for consciousness studies. The simple horse, who had once refused to enter an unsafe barn, was now teaching humans about the fundamental nature of consciousness and communication. The Thunder's Apprentices program evolved to include training in quantum communication awareness. Young people learned to recognize and interpret subtle quantum signals in their environment, developing a new form of ecological literacy that combined scientific understanding with intuitive awareness. Dr. Ramirez's team made another stunning discovery. Thunder's quantum communication abilities appeared to operate independently of distance. He could maintain coherent quantum connections with other horses in the network across vast distances, suggesting possibilities for global environmental monitoring systems. The ranch hosted the first global conference on quantum consciousness and communication, bringing together scientists, philosophers, and practitioners from diverse traditions to explore the implications of these discoveries. The event marked a turning point in human understanding of consciousness and our relationship with other species. Sarah's veterinary practice incorporated quantum communication techniques into animal healthcare, leading to more accurate diagnoses and more effective treatments. The ability to understand animals at a quantum level revolutionized veterinary medicine, creating new possibilities for healing and prevention. As winter deepened, Thunder's legacy continued to grow. His gift had evolved from simple environmental awareness to opening new frontiers in consciousness and communication. The horse, who had once been known for refusing to enter a barn, had become a bridge between species, helping humans understand their place in a quantum-connected world. The impact of these discoveries extended far beyond the scientific community. Thunder's ability to communicate complex environmental and emotional information through quantum channels suggested new possibilities for human evolution and consciousness development. His gift had become a catalyst for transforming human understanding of reality itself. Spring brought an extraordinary development to Rolling Hills Ranch, as Thunder's quantum communication abilities revealed an unexpected dimension. During a routine morning session at the Interspecies Communication Center, Thunder began displaying patterns that suggested awareness of something far beyond Earth's immediate environment. The sophisticated equipment in the center detected quantum signatures, unlike anything previously recorded. Dr. Ramirez's team quickly realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. Thunder's neural patterns showed synchronization with cosmic quantum fluctuations, suggesting an ability to perceive and interpret information from deep space. He's not just communicating across Earth's environment, Dr. Ramirez explained, her voice filled with wonder. He's detecting quantum signals from beyond our planet. The discovery attracted the attention of NASA and other space agencies. A joint research initiative was launched to explore how Thunder's cosmic awareness could contribute to our understanding of space phenomena. The horse's ability to detect and interpret quantum signals from space offered new possibilities for early warning systems about solar flares, asteroid movements, and other cosmic events. Sarah noticed that other horses in the Thunder network began showing similar awareness after prolonged interaction with Thunder. He's teaching them to expand their perception beyond Earth's boundaries, she observed. This development suggested possibilities for creating a network of cosmic-aware horses that could enhance our understanding of space events. The ranch established the Cosmic Awareness Research Division, CARD, dedicated to studying and developing applications for Thunder's extraordinary ability. The facility combined advanced astronomical equipment with quantum monitoring systems, creating a unique observatory that merged animal sensitivity with cutting-edge technology. One remarkable breakthrough came when Thunder's behavior predicted a previously undetected solar event hours before it was visible to conventional instruments. His warning allowed satellite operators to protect sensitive equipment, preventing potentially catastrophic damage to global communication systems. The Thunder's Apprentices program expanded to include astronomy and space science education. Young people learned to combine their understanding of horse behavior with cosmic awareness, creating a new generation of researchers who could bridge the gap between animal sensitivity and space exploration. Dr. Chen's neurological research revealed that Thunder's brain processed cosmic quantum information in ways that suggested possibilities for enhancing human space exploration. The horse's ability to interpret complex cosmic data offered insights into developing more effective navigation and communication systems for deep space missions. The therapeutic applications of cosmic awareness proved surprisingly beneficial. People suffering from seasonal affective disorder and other conditions influenced by cosmic rhythms found relief through sessions with Thunder and other cosmically aware horses. The connection to universal rhythms seemed to have a harmonizing effect on human biological systems. Thomas watched in amazement as Rolling Hills Ranch transformed into a unique center where earth science merged with cosmic exploration. The horse, who had refused to enter an unsafe barn, was now helping humanity understand its place in the cosmos. Sometimes the greatest insights come from the most unexpected sources, he reflected. International space agencies began establishing their own equine sensitivity programs using the Thunder Protocol as a model. The network of cosmically aware horses grew, creating a global system for monitoring and interpreting cosmic phenomena through quantum consciousness. Dr. Rodriguez's behavioral research expanded to study how cosmic awareness influenced horse social structures. She discovered that horses with developed cosmic sensitivity showed enhanced empathy and communication abilities, suggesting a connection between cosmic awareness and emotional intelligence. The ranch hosted the first conference on biological systems and cosmic consciousness, bringing together astronomers, biologists, and consciousness researchers. The event marked a turning point in understanding how living beings could perceive and interact with cosmic phenomena. Thunder's cosmic sensitivity led to discoveries about the relationship between quantum fields and consciousness that challenged conventional scientific paradigms. His ability to process and communicate complex cosmic information suggested new possibilities for understanding consciousness itself. Sarah integrated cosmic awareness into her veterinary practice, developing treatments that considered the influence of cosmic rhythms on animal health. This holistic approach to veterinary medicine showed remarkable results, particularly in treating conditions affected by cosmic and seasonal changes. The impact of Thunder's cosmic awareness extended beyond scientific applications. Artists and musicians visited the ranch, creating works inspired by the horse's perception of cosmic rhythms. Their interpretations helped communicate complex cosmic concepts to the public in accessible and meaningful ways. Dr. Ramirez's team made another stunning discovery. Thunder could detect quantum signatures from potential extraterrestrial sources. While the implications of this finding were still being explored, it opened new possibilities for SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence research. The ranch established the first School of Cosmic Consciousness, offering programs that combined traditional horsemanship with cosmic awareness training. Students learned to develop their own sensitivity to cosmic rhythms while understanding the scientific principles behind these phenomena. As spring progressed, Thunder's legacy continued to evolve. His gift had expanded from earthly concerns to cosmic awareness, helping humanity understand its connection to the larger universe. The horse, who had once been known for his earthly intuition, had become a bridge between terrestrial life and cosmic consciousness. The story of Thunder's cosmic awareness inspired a global movement to reconsider the relationship between consciousness and the cosmos. His ability to perceive and communicate cosmic information suggested that consciousness itself might be a fundamental force in the universe, connecting all living beings to the cosmic dance of creation. Summer swept across Rolling Hills Ranch, bringing with it a monumental discovery that would forever change the way humanity understood the connection between life and the universe. Thunder's enhanced cosmic awareness had evolved into something even more extraordinary: the ability to perceive and interact with what scientists termed consciousness fields. invisible networks of awareness that seem to permeate all of existence. Dr. Ramirez and her quantum physics team detected unusual patterns in Thunder's neural activity that suggested he was accessing previously unknown dimensions of reality. The horse appeared to be interacting with fields of consciousness that existed beyond physical space and time, challenging fundamental assumptions about the nature of awareness itself. A breakthrough occurred during a routine morning session, when Thunder began displaying behaviors that corresponded with simultaneous events happening across the globe. The horse's quantum neural patterns showed perfect synchronization with significant moments of collective human consciousness, from mass celebrations to shared moments of global concern. Sarah noticed that other horses in the Thunder network were beginning to exhibit similar abilities, but with an interesting twist. Each horse seemed to attune to different aspects of the consciousness field, creating a complex web of awareness that could monitor multiple dimensions of reality simultaneously. They're working together like a consciousness observatory, she explained to amazed researchers. The United Nations established a special committee to explore the implications of Thunder's discoveries for global peace and understanding. The horse's ability to detect and respond to collective consciousness suggested new possibilities for conflict resolution and international cooperation. Representatives from countries in conflict zones reported experiencing unexpected moments of shared understanding during sessions with Thunder. Dr. Chen's neurological research revealed that exposure to Thunder's consciousness field awareness had lasting effects on human brain function. People who spent time working with him showed increased empathy, enhanced intuition, and a deeper sense of connection to others. This discovery led to the development of new therapeutic approaches for treating psychological trauma and social disorders. The ranch established the Global Consciousness Research Institute, GCRI, dedicated to studying and applying Thunder's remarkable abilities. The facility combined cutting-edge technology with ancient wisdom traditions, creating a unique environment where science and spirituality could work together to explore the nature of consciousness. Indigenous elders from around the world gathered at the ranch, recognizing in Thunder's abilities the manifestation of ancient prophecies about the awakening of global consciousness. Their traditional knowledge, combined with modern scientific understanding, created new frameworks for understanding humanity's relationship with universal awareness. The Thunder's Apprentices program evolved into a comprehensive study of consciousness development. Young people learned to access and work with consciousness fields under Thunder's guidance, developing abilities that previous generations would have considered impossible. Their achievements suggested new possibilities for human evolution and development. Thomas watched in wonder as Rolling Hills Ranch transformed into a global center for consciousness studies. The horse who had once refused to enter an unsafe barn was now teaching humanity about its own potential for expanded awareness. Every seemingly small act of trust can open doors to incredible possibilities, he often reflected. Dr. Rodriguez's research revealed that Thunder's consciousness field awareness had profound implications for understanding evolution itself. The horse appeared to be accessing and influencing fields that affected genetic expression, suggesting that consciousness played a more fundamental role in evolution than previously thought. The therapeutic applications of consciousness field work proved revolutionary. People with various conditions, from autism to PTSD, found that interaction with Thunder and his consciousness field awareness facilitated healing in ways that conventional treatments couldn't achieve. The horse's ability to connect with universal consciousness seemed to bypass normal barriers to healing and growth. International research centers began establishing their own consciousness field programs, using the Thunder protocol as a model. The network of consciousness-aware horses grew, creating a global system for monitoring and working with collective awareness. This development led to new approaches in conflict resolution, disaster prevention, and environmental protection. The ranch hosted the first World Symposium on consciousness fields and universal awareness, bringing together scientists, spiritual leaders, and consciousness researchers from around the globe. The event marked a turning point in human understanding of consciousness and its role in shaping reality. Sarah integrated consciousness field awareness into her veterinary practice, developing treatments that worked with universal healing energies. This approach showed remarkable results, particularly in cases where conventional treatments had failed. The success of these methods led to a revolution in veterinary medicine. Thunder's consciousness field sensitivity led to discoveries about the nature of reality that transformed scientific understanding. His ability to perceive and interact with universal consciousness suggested that awareness itself was a fundamental force in the universe, as essential as gravity or electromagnetism. The impact of these discoveries extended beyond scientific applications. Artists, musicians, and creators of all kinds found inspiration in Thunder's consciousness field work, producing works that helped others experience and understand these expanded dimensions of awareness. Their creations helped bridge the gap between ordinary perception and expanded consciousness. Dr. Ramirez's team made another groundbreaking discovery. Thunder could detect and interact with consciousness fields that appeared to originate from other dimensions of reality. While the implications of this finding were still being explored, it suggested possibilities for understanding the multiverse that had previously existed only in theoretical physics. The ranch established the Academy of Universal Consciousness, offering programs that combined practical training in consciousness fieldwork with scientific understanding of quantum reality. Students learned to develop their own consciousness field awareness while understanding the principles behind these extraordinary abilities. As summer progressed, Thunder's legacy continued to evolve. His gift had expanded from environmental awareness to cosmic consciousness, and now to universal awareness itself. The horse, who had once been known for his earthly intuition, had become a guide to humanity's evolution of consciousness. As autumn leaves painted Rolling Hills Ranch in brilliant colors, the time had come to share Thunder's extraordinary journey with the world in a way that would inspire generations to come. The horse, who had once refused to enter a barn, had transformed not just a ranch, but humanity's understanding of consciousness, connection, and potential. A global documentary project titled Thunder's Legacy: From Barn to Universe brought film crews from major networks to capture the remarkable story. But even as cameras rolled, Thunder demonstrated that his journey of discovery wasn't over. During filming, he began exhibiting new behaviors that suggested an even deeper level of awareness. Dr. Ramirez's team detected quantum patterns indicating that Thunder had developed the ability to connect with future possibilities. The horse appeared to be accessing what quantum physicists called probability fields, showing awareness of potential future events and their likely outcomes. This discovery suggested implications for preventing future crises and guiding positive development. The United Nations Educational Committee established Thunder's story as part of a global curriculum, teaching children about the importance of trusting intuition and remaining open to unexpected sources of wisdom. Schools worldwide began incorporating lessons from Thunder's journey into their programs, inspiring young minds to think beyond conventional boundaries. Sarah noticed that Thunder had begun teaching other horses not just to detect quantum fields and consciousness patterns, but to actively participate in shaping them. This development suggested that animals could play a more active role in guiding Earth's future than anyone had previously imagined. Thomas found himself reflecting on the incredible journey that had begun with a simple act of trust. Sometimes the smallest decision can lead to the most profound changes, he shared with a group of visiting students. Thunder taught us that wisdom can come from unexpected sources, and that being willing to listen and learn is more important than any preconceived ideas. The ranch established the Future Possibilities Institute, dedicated to studying and applying Thunder's ability to access probability fields. This new facility combined quantum monitoring equipment with consciousness field detection systems, creating a unique environment for exploring potential futures and their implications. Indigenous leaders from around the world recognized in Thunder's abilities the fulfillment of ancient prophecies about the bridging of worlds. They shared traditional wisdom about the role of animals in guiding human development, wisdom that now found validation through scientific observation of Thunder's capabilities. Dr. Chen's research revealed that Thunder's influence had begun to affect human consciousness on a fundamental level. People who spent time working with him showed enhanced abilities to access their own intuitive wisdom and connect with larger fields of consciousness. This discovery suggested new possibilities for human evolution and development. The therapeutic applications of Thunder's work expanded into new areas. His ability to access probability fields proved particularly valuable in helping people overcome trauma and anxiety about the future. The horse's calm presence and clear connection to positive future possibilities helped countless individuals find hope and healing. Rolling Hills Ranch became a symbol of the harmony possible between scientific advancement and natural wisdom. The facility that had grown from a simple ranch now stood as a beacon of hope, demonstrating how respect for animal intelligence could lead to revolutionary discoveries about consciousness and reality itself. The Thunder's Apprentices program evolved into a global movement, with young people worldwide learning to develop their own intuitive abilities and connection to consciousness fields. These young pioneers demonstrated that Thunder's gifts could be shared and developed by others willing to open themselves to new possibilities. International research centers began establishing programs based on Thunder's example, creating a network of facilities dedicated to exploring consciousness and its role in shaping reality. This global network facilitated unprecedented cooperation between scientists, spiritual leaders, and consciousness researchers. Dr. Rodriguez's final research paper, The Thunder Effect, Revolutionizing Our Understanding of Consciousness, became a foundational text in the emerging field of consciousness studies. Her work demonstrated how one horse's remarkable abilities had transformed scientific understanding of awareness and its role in the universe. Sarah's veterinary practice became a model for a new approach to animal care that recognized and worked with animals' consciousness abilities. This revolutionary method spread worldwide, changing how humanity viewed and treated animals across all contexts. The ranch hosted the Global Consciousness Summit, bringing together leaders from science, spirituality, education, and government to explore the implications of Thunder's legacy. The event marked a turning point in human history, establishing a new paradigm for understanding consciousness and its role in shaping reality. Thomas shared the story of Thunder's first refusal to enter the barn, now recognized as the moment that sparked a global transformation in consciousness. This simple act of animal wisdom had grown into a movement that changed how humanity understood itself and its place in the universe. As autumn deepened into winter, Thunder's legacy stood as a testament to the power of remaining open to wisdom from unexpected sources. The horse, who had once been known simply for refusing to enter an unsafe barn, had become a catalyst for humanity's evolution of consciousness. The story of Thunder and Rolling Hills Ranch became a symbol of hope and possibility, inspiring people worldwide to trust their intuition and remain open to the wisdom that surrounds us. It demonstrated that the most profound transformations often begin with simple acts of trust and awareness. Thunder's journey from barn to universe had shown that consciousness itself was the bridge between all beings and all possibilities. His legacy would continue to inspire generations to come, reminding humanity that wisdom can come from the most unexpected sources, and that being willing to listen and learn is the key to unlocking unlimited potential. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.